Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Allison Fernandez, and the purpose of this video today is to give you an overview of your research methods class that you're taking with me. So this syllabus is for an 8-week summer course or a Term A or Term B course. So be sure to refer to the official file that's posted in D2L, but if you're in an 8-week course, then this syllabus and course schedule will apply to you. And if this link is being shared to you, you can rest assured that this is the correct video. So in research methods, we talk about major techniques that researchers use to answer empirical research questions. So not just criminal justice or criminological researchers, but social scientists in general. We're going to cover conceptualization, measurement, sampling, and both quantitative and qualitative research designs. We'll talk about surveys and ethical issues in research as well. If you have questions that come up during the class, I do prefer that you email me. My email is as listed on the screen, so it's afernandez@centralstate.edu. You can also call me or you can text me at the number that you see on your screen. My office location is virtual, so we can meet by Teams. We can schedule a phone call, or we can handle everything via email, whatever's best for you. My typical virtual office hours are Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 10 to 12 Eastern Standard Time. But if you do need something outside of these hours, just contact me and I'll work with you to schedule something that can work for both of us. You do have some required material for this class. So your textbook is an absolute must, and you need to also access MindTap that goes along with your research methods book. So I'll talk more about how to access that in a minute. As far as the learning objectives for this class, I want you to be able to explain the purposes of research, especially in the field of criminal justice, after this class. The second learning objective or outcome would be comparing qualitative, quantitative, and mixed methods designs. Third, your learning outcome will be interpreting and evaluating empirical research. Fourth, will be explaining different methods for collecting data, analyzing and reporting findings. And then finally, the last learning outcome will be identifying each step in the research process. Your grades will consist of 3 discussions, and each of those are on D2L. They each have a rubric, so be sure to follow the rubric. For all of the discussions, you'll need to submit your original post and respond to 2 classmates. You will also have a syllabus acknowledgement that is worth 1 point. Your MindTap material is the item that takes the majority of the points in this class, so it accounts for 444 points. You also have a final exam that you're expected to work on throughout the class. So you should be working on your final exam immediately. And I'll cover that in a minute as well. That's worth 25 points, and you'll have 2 extra credit opportunities for up to 5 points for a total possible of 500 points in the class. Now, it is important to note that emailed work is not accepted under any circumstances. I do only accept work submitted via D2L. Also, if you look at the due dates on your screen, you'll see that your due dates are typically on Fridays. I will accept work through Sunday evening. That's Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're not in Eastern Standard Time, that's up to you to make sure that you meet the deadline. And I'm not in Eastern Standard Time either. So if I was in this course, I would have to make a note, okay, I need to get my work submitted by 10:59 p.m. because I'm in Central Standard Time. So make sure to take note of that. I am very strict on late submissions, and I will not accept anything that is not submitted through the university past the 2-day grace period. I also want to just take a minute to note that for discussion boards, you won't be able to see other people's posts before you first submit your original post. So sometimes students might say, "Oh, I can't see anything. What's going on?" But just be aware that you will not see anyone else's posts until you post. So it's not a technical issue. It is set up that way on purpose, just to ensure that nobody's copying answers or sharing answers. For your syllabus acknowledgement, you should also note that you can attempt that quiz twice. Your highest attempt will be kept. And the MindTap materials will generally cover several chapters a week because this is a short class. So just be aware that this is an accelerated class and it moves quite quickly. All of the MindTap material that is graded is automatically imported into D2L's gradebook, so you can keep track of your grades on D2L. As I mentioned earlier, you also have your final exam. Your final exam should be 6 pages long and submitted as a PDF on D2L. I've received a lot of feedback from students saying that they're not able to submit the final exam, and that's because they're not converting it into a PDF. So I do have instructions on D2L if you need assistance with saving a PDF rather than a Word document. Now, I do require a PDF to ensure that I can read it, and this helps both me and you. So I have had students submit Word documents or other extensions that end up not being able to be viewed or accessed by myself. But if you submit it as a PDF, there are typically no issues. So that's why I do require a PDF. The next section on your screen is extra credit. So as I mentioned earlier, I do offer extra credit, which has specific due dates. Please do not email me for other extra credit opportunities outside of the ones already offered. I will not provide any additional extra credit beyond what's already posted. And I do this to be fair to everyone in the class. Nobody's going to get an opportunity that's not extended to every person in the class. So I do have to be fair to everyone that is in the class. That being said, I not only offer extra credit and provide you your final exam upfront to work on throughout the semester, but I will also round up if you're within 1 point to the next letter grade. Anything beyond that is not rounded up. So if you do score an 88.9, for example, that will be a B. So your exact points and what letter grade is assigned is detailed here in the highlighted portion, and you'll already see that the rounding up is already accounted for in this table. So you don't need to email me and ask if it's being rounded up. You can assume that it will be, but I am more than happy to confirm that I've done so if you want to confirm. So feel free to email me at the end of the semester if you are one of those students that's at an 89 or 79 and want to confirm, and I can certainly do that for you. Okay, and I already talked about the tardiness and late policy. Work is due every Friday with a 2-day grace period through Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If something happens that is a university documented emergency or reason that you do not submit work, that's fine. Just have the university send me the appropriate letter and I will ensure that the due dates are adjusted. But anything that is not coming directly from the university will not be extended past the 2-day grace period. As far as amendments to the syllabus, I try not to amend the syllabus or the course schedule. So you should be able to rely on the syllabus and course schedule. If something happens where there is a mistake or something that I need to fix, though, just be aware that I will not add any work to your workload. If there's something that needs to be fixed, it will not impact you in a negative way. I do strive to take care of any errors, without affecting your overall course score or adding to your workload. Just like all your other classes, you will be emailed an evaluation after the course is done. I do take these very seriously and I do review them, and I often make changes based on the feedback. So I would appreciate if you take the survey and let me know what you thought about the course. As far as accessing MindTap, I have links throughout the entire class. So if you click Module 1, 2, 3, all of those links that are showing up in blue will take you to MindTap. You just click here to open your content. Just make sure that if you haven't registered already, you're using your university email to sign up. All right, as far as what to expect in this course, you will receive at least weekly updates. I usually post two or three reminders or announcements per week. So the announcements page is very important and the main way that I communicate with you. You should be getting an emailed copy of the announcement. So make sure to check your email. If you're on your phone, it should pop up. But if you're on the desktop app, you may need to go to your other folder and it'll come through via the other folder. Now, grading, I typically get done in 1 week. So if you, and what I mean by that is the 5 days. So if something is due on Friday, I will have that posted by the next Friday. Lastly, I also typically respond to emails within 24 hours, but if it's late on a Friday or the weekend, my response time may be longer since I do work Monday through Friday. If for any instance you don't hear back from me within 72 hours, please email me again. It could be that somehow your email got lost or buried, or sent to spam, especially if you didn't send it through your Central State email account. Something else I want to point out as far as suggestions for doing well in this course is number 5, following the course schedule. So the only work you're responsible for is listed in the course schedule. There's no surprises, so if it's not listed here in the syllabus and the course schedule, there's nothing else that you need to do. So here's the course schedule. You'll see that we have 8 weeks. And take a note that we do cover multiple modules per week. In week 1, we're covering module 1, which is just an introduction, as well as module 2, which is already getting into chapter 1 material. In week 2, we have 2 modules again, and you have your first extra credit option that's due. Please note that the extra credit option is not going to be available past week 2. So I do suggest that you take advantage of the opportunity even if you don't think you'll need the extra credit. In week 3, we're covering modules 5 and 6. In week 4, we're covering modules 7 and 8. And then you have another extra credit option due. Week 5 is another 2 modules. Week 6 is another 2 modules. Now for Module 12, you don't have any associated MindTap material, so just refer to D2L. Week 7, we're covering modules 13 and 14. And again, for module 14, there's no MindTap material. And then for week 8, we're covering module 15 and 16. So on your screen is your final exam. You should refer to the file posted on D2L because I do change the final exam each semester. Not significantly, but I do make changes. The overall instructions remain the same though, so I'll go ahead and cover that. So first, your final exam is a study guide. It's really intended to help you and to have you save it for future classes, whether that's at Central State or perhaps in a graduate program. And it's also intended to draw your attention to the main takeaways from this class. There is a lot of material in the course, but everything listed on this final exam is very important. So your completed final exam or study guide should be at least 6 full pages, double-spaced. You should use Times New Roman and 12-point font, and again, only PDFs are accepted via D2L. Make sure not to erase any of the chapters or the questions. In my view, that defeats the purpose of the study guide or the final exam. You would just have answers without the question, and that's not as useful as having the prompt. All right, and here's the grading rubric for your final exam / study guide. Again, refer to the file posted on D2L to ensure that you're looking at the right material. However, the grading rubric does not change. The specific wording of the questions might change on the study guide, so refer to the original file, but the grading rubric is the same semester by semester. First, you should have a minimum page count of 6 pages. If you don't have a full 6 pages, not 5.5 or 5 3/4, but an entire full 6 pages, you will get a 0 on the final exam. Having less than the 6 pages means that you did not put enough information on your final exam. You also need 12-point Times New Roman font throughout. Make sure it's double-spaced with the standard margins of 8.5 by 11. As I mentioned a minute ago, make sure that the answers remain numbered and keep the prompt as is. So all you need to do is fill out the template. All the prompts and questions need to remain as provided. And then, of course, answer each question 1 through 40 in complete sentences with no grammatical issues. All right, if you guys have any questions, my information again here is posted on the first page. You can email me directly at any time, or you can call or text me at the number on your screen. And I will respond to you within a reasonable time frame. Thank you.